Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulonding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
Sophie Milk ñu ngi fété juróom benn ati cafka bu dul dañ ñoo leen indil Jalika full cream milk powder neex saf sàpp te bari cafka pour di leen jërëjëfati si ni ngeen defee Sophie Milk seen favorite milk brand léegi mun ngeen a jëfandikoo empty Jalika milk sachets wala carton pour gagner ay xéewal yu riche. Pour gagner motorbike dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty carton yi Jalika milk pour gagner yeneen xéewal yu mel ni PlayStation 4, TV, fridge freezer, gas cooker, bicycle wala mobile phone. dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty Jalika milk sachets def leen si biir enveloppe binda si sa tur ak sa téléphone number. Mun ngeen ko yóbbu si bépp Jalika milk agent bu leen gën a jege. Pour xam bi si raful yi dem leen Jalika milk Facebook page. Jalika milk mooy meew bu ees bu leen so fi indil gën a neex saf sàpp te riche.
It's a warm reception to our studio here in Serekunda. This is Star TV News with me, Maimunaju Fadera. First, the headlines tonight. Ministry of Health to embark and roll out a vaccine to all parts of the country. APRC delivers letter of condemnation to Attorney General for TRRC recommendations. Police Intervention Unit orders benefit from German police support team. GAP unveils Aliou Sow as standard bearer. On the international scene, kidnappers release another 28 abducted children in Nigeria. Unprecedented UN says Afghan civilian deaths up by 47%. Turkey retaliates against YPG attacked in northern Syria. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Following the donation of 151,200 doses of the Johnson & Johnson Janssen COVID-19 vaccine by the government of the United States of America through the COVAX facility to the government of the Gambia, the Ministry of Health said in a statement that it will embark on the rollout of the vaccine in all parts of the country starting today. Well, our son reports.
Teams of vaccinators will be deployed to the communities and health facilities across the country, as well as in different strategic locations such as Bantabas, points of entry, and other identified areas. All individuals above the age of 18 years are eligible to get vaccinated and are required to get only one shot of the vaccine to be fully protected. The vaccination program is expected to cover about 60% of the population in both urban and rural areas, and vaccine will be administered free of charge. The ministry added in its statement that those who receive their first dose of either AstraZeneca or Sinopharm vaccine should not receive a different vaccine for their second dose. The ministry reassured those who could not get their second eligible dose of AstraZeneca because of stock out that they will subsequently receive their due dose, as preparations are underway for their availability of more doses of AstraZeneca. The public is also reminded that safe and effective vaccination against COVID-19 is essential to bring this outbreak under control, but alone will not be sufficient. Thus, observing social distancing, wearing a face mask, avoiding overcrowded places, avoiding handshaking, frequent hand sanitizing and washing hands with soap and clean water are critical intervention strategies. The ministry is therefore soliciting the continued support and cooperation of the public in its effort to contain COVID-19 in the country. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Awasane.
Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction earlier today organized a peaceful march past from the Arch 22nd to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice to hand over a petition regarding the TRRC's recommendations to be delivered to the President of the Gambia. Well, Hadi Mjaju has the rest of the story.
The Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction Party, APRC, organized a peaceful protest led by the party leader, Fabakary Tombong Jatta, and a press briefing to discuss issues regarding the petition given to the Minister of Justice to be delivered to His Excellency President Adama Barrow. Upon arrival at the Ministry of Justice and the Attorney General's chamber, the interim leader and Secretary General of the party gave an overview of what the peaceful protest was all about.
What we want to do actually is to, first of all, present the contents of our petition to His Excellency the President. Then, from there and then people know what the content is. But for the press, we hope we will give you a brief summation of what our intent is and why we thought it befitting to do it. So, but we want to make it clear. This is meant to express as citizens our position and our version of what has happened to the Supreme Leader, who is the President of the Republic of the Gambia. That's all our mission is. That's why we had wanted to have a 100,000 march to show solidarity. But because of the pandemic, and we don't want to expose our people and the Gambian people to this deadly virus, we decided to have the executive and few others to come and deliver it.
After the peaceful protest, a press briefing was organized at the I-22 to engage the media on what the party thinks is not right in the TRRC's recommendation. In his capacity as the party leader of APRC, Honorable Fabakary Tombong Jatta said the party is not in total denial for the TRRC to investigate into the alleged activities of the former regime because it's people's right as citizens to find out the truth regarding the allegations. But what they want is for things to happen the right way.
What we wanted and what we had cried for was that it should be done honestly, transparently, and for the greater interest of the Gambian people. I am sure most of you will agree with me that from the onset, the whole process of the TRRC has been compromised. Decisions had already been reached. An institution created to justify those judgments given by a clique of people in this country.
He further clarified that the party did not want to preempt before His Excellency receives the petition. Jatta gave an overview of what the party thought was what indulged the whole process regarding the TRRC, saying that the appointment of Dr. Lamin Sise as head of the TRRC was illegal regardless of his qualifications.
Issue is we have the 1997 Constitution that guides any operations of government. It's the supreme law of the land. It cannot be mortgaged. It cannot be compromised. It's not owned by individuals or even the custodians. Therefore, the appointment of Dr. Lamin Sise for us is illegal.
Reporting for Star TV News, I am Hadi Mjaju.
A total of 38 officers from the Police Intervention Unit graduated as the first batch of a newly established unit known as the Special Intervention Unit, following their completion of 2 weeks of intensive training in public order management. A ceremony was held at the PIU grounds on Thursday. Adama Jang Jalo tells us more.
The training was conducted and funded by the German police support team in the Gambia, and it aims at equipping participants with tactical skills in public order management towards consolidating the gains already registered in policing a democracy. Depositing the Inspector General of Police, Mamadou Sow, the Deputy Inspector General of Police expressed sincere appreciation and gratitude to the German police support team and the government of Germany for the continuous support and partnership. He charged the ground downs to put into good use the knowledge and skills acquired towards ensuring efficient service delivery. Other speakers, including the Commissioner of the Police Intervention Unit Adeline Basange, lead trainer Mr. Stephen Hash, and Charge Affairs German Embassy Ms. Isabel Bloch. In a similar development, the German police support team on Friday officially handed over a total of 13 traffic investigation backpacks and 13 stop signs to the mobile traffic unit at Carnifing, marking the end of a training on traffic management and other related issues. Receiving the items on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Commissioner of Police Lamin King Koli expressed appreciation and gratitude for the gesture, describing it as timely. It is instructive to note that the delivery of the items forms part of a training package by the German police on traffic management, conducted in partnership with Embaj Police and the Gambia Police Force, funded by the German Federal Foreign Office. As part of this training, participants benefited from the use of the skills and equipment in the backpacks. For Star TV News, I am Adama Jang Jalo.
Gambia Action Party unveils its new presidential candidate in an event held at the Tamale Beach Hotel. Mr. Sow will join the battle of presidential aspirants come the December 4th election. Khadija Tudanso has more.
In a forum attended by executive committee members of GAP, the chairman of IEC, cabinet ministers, among others, to witness the declaration of its new flag bearer. Sow was identified as the incumbent Secretary General and leader of the Gambia Action Party. During the event, the Administrative Secretary of Gambia Action Party, Mr. Kanduro Yafa, said the party came into existence in the beginning of 2019, when the patriotic citizens of the Gambia joined hearts and minds to establish a party that will salvage the country from sinking any further, in order to bring about effective socio-economic development. He went further to call on Gambians to join GAP in changing the old system of bankruptcy and exploitation in the country.
I am calling on all the Gambians to join this revolution and radicalism, if one may call it, to break the old system that the previous and the present government imposed on us. They bankrupted our country and has a legacy of malicious and exploitative loan deals, as well as overstretched and demoralized public services. But they are still pressing themselves of making progress in the Gambia. I don't know how. Like a national spirit and a bit of activism, let's come together and transfer power from the government to the people, from corrupt politicians and public servants to the business sector and philanthropists, as the current state of our dear country cannot be overlooked any further.
Mr. Kandoro urged all political leaders to maintain friendliness as the country heads to December polls.
Sometimes I feel a bit uncomfortable about the kind of sentiments expressed by political opponents and their surrogates. As we approach election campaigns, I call on all political parties, especially the party leaders in the Gambia, to maintain friendly relationships and safeguard the peace and stability of the Gambia. It is only the Gambia we all have in common. Let us not be divided by political views or dissected from the peaceful coexistence among ourselves.
The new presidential candidate of the Gambia Action Party, Mr. Sow, expressed his profound gratitude for being trusted and elected as the presidential candidate of GAP, adding that he is deeply conscious that he will be taking over the heaviest responsibilities when elected, as his government will work together with all patriotic citizens of the Gambia to move the country to another stage. Honorable Sow further expressed that his government will transform the economic sector, as in more than half a century, the economic front of the Gambia is below per capita income and the gross domestic product continues to languish. Mr. Sow underscored GAP's plans to rebrand the economic sector of the country.
Our plan to build a strong Gambia through building strategic planning for strong economic growth and infrastructural development by lowering taxes, more productive investment in business sector that will create public-private partnership and deliver more jobs with higher wages and better services for all the citizens of our country. Fellow Gambians, with a modernized economy and workable policies, Gambia will have competitive and operational manufacturing industry during the nation that will provide dynamical services and support base for poverty reduction through employment opportunities.
So went further to say that his government will champion the lead to increase export spending, real salaries, reduce the cost of borrowing, consumer spending, and investment by introducing mandatory support to the business sector. He also talked on the agricultural sector of the country.
Led government, under my leadership, it prioritized the modernization of agriculture and sustainable utilization of the arable farms in the Gambia to serve as complementary tools for diverse economy, as efforts will be in place to ensure irrigational farming practice and undertaking to complement the 4-month rainfall in the Gambia to a year-round farming. Our guide's approach toward this sector will consist of indigenous, commercial, and industrial farming practice that will lead us into self-food sufficiency. And
Mr. Sow concluded by urging all eligible Gambians to support the party, as his party will bring desired changes in the lives of all, which can only happen when millions of Gambians put his candidature in reality and voting for him in the December 4th elections. Meanwhile, Mr. Aliu Sow was born on the 10th of October 1974 in Chidiwolof, Upper Badibu, North Bank region. He attended Mintekunda Primary School from 1982 to 1989. In his quest for academic excellence, he proceeded to Farafanya Senior Secondary School from 1989 to 1993, where he bagged academic mysterious qualifications to pursue tertiary studies. In 1996, he was enrolled in paramilitary training course at the Guards Training School at Bakau. Having gone through a series of challenges, he kept faith as he had a dream of serving the nation and protect the Gambia Armed Forces uniform. He studied computer science and upgraded his skills through diversity at Bahai Center. His passion for research and development made him study criminal investigation through the Gambia Police Force Prosecution Department in the year 2004. After more than 2 decades in academic life, he later studied international relations and diplomacy at the Management Development Institute at 2018 and completed his program recently. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Kadia Tudansu.
Well, those were the local stories. We'll be back with international news. After the short break, please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jeja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulaling. We are also producers of Jeja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gosh, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gosh Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
Sophie Milk ñu ngi fété juroom benn ati cafka bu dut dañ ñoo leen indil Jalika full cream milk powder neex saf sap te bari cafka pour di leen jërëjëfati si ni ngeen defee Sophie Milk seen favorite milk brand léegi mun ngeen a jëfandikoo empty Jalika milk sachets wala carton pour gagner ay xéewal yu riche. Pour gagner motorbike dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty carton yi Jalika milk pour gagner yeneen xéewal yu mel ni PlayStation 4, TV, fridge freezer gas cooker bicycle wala mobile phone dajalal fukk ak juróomi empty Jalika milk sachets def leen ci biir enveloppe binda ci sa tur ak sa téléphone number mën ngeen ko yóbbu ci bépp Jalika milk agent bu leen gën a jege pour xam bi ci raful yi dem leen Jalika milk Facebook page Jalika milk mooy meew bu ees bu leen so fi indil gën a neex saf sàpp te riche.
Welcome back. After that short break, we now look at the news beyond our borders. 28 Nigerian children have been reunited with their parents weeks after armed men kidnapped them. There have been emotional scenes as the children returned to their town in Canada State on Sunday. 33 students have now been released, but 87 are still in captivity. Armed groups have carried out a rush of kidnappings in Nigeria in the last few months. Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris reports from Abuja, Nigeria.
After 3 agonizing weeks, an emotional reunion for parents whose children were released. Tears and hugs greet the youngsters, now free and safely back with their parents.
The joy is too much. I can't quantify the joy. God has done it. We said that if we serve God, we will see our children, and we have seen them. As He has brought this child, He will bring the rest.
But many other parents would have to return home alone.
My son is not here.
Painful images for parents wondering if their children will ever be home.
It's not something that you will desire even your enemies should experience. We still have 87 children who are not yet back. So as leaders, our attention should be on the children who are not yet back. And then the parents of these 28 children should now take their children to hospital. We are praying with them. We are believing that they will get well. But really, it is not something that you will want to see. But that's the situation we find ourselves, and we just have to take it.
The students had been taken from the Bethel High School in Kaduna State, the 10th mass abduction from a school in northern Nigeria in the past 8 months. Nearly 1,000 students have been kidnapped from boarding schools in Nigeria's north. In May, gunmen invaded an Islamic school in central Nigeria and kidnapped 136 students in broad daylight. Only 5 of them have so far been released. Officials have denied paying ransom for kidnapped victims, but many Nigerians don't believe that. Some parents are known to have negotiated directly and paid ransom to the kidnappers. Kidnapping for ransom is Nigeria's fastest growing criminal enterprise, carried out by gangs and armed groups including Boko Haram. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Abuja.
A record number of women and children have been killed or injured in Afghanistan in the first 6 months of this year. The UN's assistance mission to Afghanistan said in a report it has documented 5,183 civilian casualties between January and June, of which 1,659 were deaths. It says Afghanistan is on course to see the most civilian deaths since it started keeping records in 2009. Al Jazeera's Sarod Bellis reports from Kabul, Afghanistan.
It's been less than 3 months since Mohammed Nazari's daughter, Rayhana, died. She was 16 and an identical triplet with her sisters in yellow. Rayhana wanted to be a doctor, but she was killed in an attack at her school in May.
I was the first one to get to the bombing. It was really horrible. It's always on my mind. When I got there, it was chaos. There were screams, cries, and mourning. There were fathers picking up their daughters, brothers picking up their sisters.
The attack on Sayed al-Shuhada High School was cited as the worst incident in a new UN report, tallying civilian casualties in the first 6 months of this year. No group has claimed responsibility for it, but Rayhana's sister has a message for her killers.
Don't kill your brothers, your sisters, because you're also from this country.
The bombing here in May killed 85 mostly young schoolgirls and injured about 150. They are among 783 civilians killed in Afghanistan in just May and June. It is the highest number for those months since the UN started keeping records 12 years ago. The UN also says a record number of women and children were killed or injured in Afghanistan in the first 6 months of this year. In Dashti Bachi, the victims' names have been painted in murals on the school's perimeter where they died.
They kill the students, those who are trying to learn knowledge, they kill them. But my message in this part is this, that we students that just have one pen in our hand and no gun, no another things in our hand to fight with them.
I asked her in the end, do you think the pen will be stronger than the gun?
Of course. I believe in this.
The UN says Afghanistan is on course to witness its highest number of civilian casualties in a single year.
We need the parties to step back and away from the battlefield, because otherwise we do think, based on the data and the figures and the record levels that we've seen of the first 6 months of this year, that these will just keep increasing.
The Nazari family empathise with the thousands of Afghans who have also buried a loved one this year, but they cannot empathise with the perpetrators.
No, I cannot forgive them. My wife cannot. Rehana's sisters cannot forgive. It's something unforgivable.
He says after Rehana's death and as security worsens, the family is looking to leave Afghanistan. The UN is also worried, saying if fighting moves from rural areas into cities, the result could be catastrophic. Charlotte Bellis, Al Jazeera, Kabul.
Turkish security forces say they have killed 7 fighters from a Kurdish group responsible for killing 2 Turkish soldiers in northern Syria. The Turkish Defense Ministry says the 2 soldiers were killed on Saturday when their armored vehicles came under attack from the YPG, People's Protection Units, in the northern Syrian town of Al-Bab. Turkey believes the YPG to be the Syrian wing of the PKK, the Kurdistan Workers' Party, a group that has been fighting the Turkish government for Kurdish independence for decades. The PKK is designated a terrorist organization by the US, Turkey and the European Union. Al Jazeera's Rasul Sidat reports from Istanbul, Turkey.
A mother's grief. Her son is the latest casualty in the ongoing conflict in northern Syria. Emrah Aslan is laid to rest in the Turkish city of Samsun. 150 kilometers away in Ordu province, another family grieves. The Turkish Defense Ministry says the 2 soldiers were killed on Saturday when their armored vehicle came under YPG attack in the northern Syrian town of Al-Bab. Their response was swift. YPG targets were identified and struck. The ministry says 7 members of the group involved in the attack were killed. In a bid to secure its borders, Turkey launched its first campaign into northern Syria in 2016 with Operation Euphrates Shield. A further 3 operations were conducted in the region, mainly targeting the YPG. Turkey believes the YPG to be the Syrian wing of the PKK, the Kurdistan Workers' Party, a group that has been in a decades-long conflict with Turkey. The PKK is designated a terrorist organization by the US, Turkey, and the European Union. Turkey established several military posts in east and northern Aleppo in 2016. Since then, these military positions have been targeted by the YPG. Recently, the group increased attacks against targets in the Turkish-controlled areas. Washington's support for the PKK Syrian affiliate has placed a major strain on bilateral relations with Ankara. The US provides training, logistical support, and weapons to the YPG. The US primarily partnered with the YPG in northern Syria in its fight against ISIL. Turkey has strongly opposed their partnership. With global interest at play, the future of Syria is still unclear, which means families on both sides of the border will continue to pay the ultimate price. Rasul Sardar, Al Jazeera, Istanbul.
Well, before we end the news, a quick recap of our main headlines. Help to embark and roll out a vaccine to all parts of the country. APRC delivers letter of condemnation to Attorney General for TRRC recommendations. Police Intervention Unit orders benefit from German police support team. GAP unveils Aliou Sow as standard bearer. On the international scene, kidnappers release another 28 abducted children in Nigeria. Unprecedented UN says Afghan civilian deaths up by 47%. Turkey retaliates against YPG attacks in northern Syria. That's all for this edition of the news. Do enjoy the rest of our wonderful programs. Do join us tomorrow for more news. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful night. Bye for now.